This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Buddy. Buddy.
I'm just a kid from Chicago.
Pick up the Scooter Chose for the permission.
I'm
YouTube.
Just a kid from Chicago.
Yeah, we got permission. Screw you in the box. And all the goofies and lames.
Trying to make a way in the game of life.
You're just a kid from Chicago. That's all.
Back against the wall, all the brothers ever tried to do it.
I'm just a kid from Chicago. That's it. Just trying to change the city. I'm just a kid from Chicago. They want to take me out the game constantly. Big ups. What down, what down, what down? Pardon the rant. Welcome to Chi-Town's very own The Self Luv Show, where our motto is on earth as it is in heaven. And as above, so below. We can be located right here on YouTube's channel. This Ain't That Network, or TATN. Yeah. Yeah. TATN, Self Love, Vision. I'm just a kid from Chicago. Wouldn't understand it. Wouldn't even understand it, but everybody want to talk about it. Am I digressing? This is co-host 9 Mills, also known as Self Love. Kid from Chicago. What down, what down, what down, what down, what down, Chi-Town, what down, what down, what down. Repeat after me. I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. Today is Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. As always, we can all be any place in this magnanimous universe, and thankfully, we all Scooter chose, big up Scooter, to be here together. Here together. Self love, what down?
What down, what down?
What you know good, bro? What you know good? What's it like over there on the south side, man?
Man, vibrating love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to give a rest in power to Lawrence Dorsey. It's my children's godfather.
Oh, wow. Man. Rest in power. Wow. Condolences to the family. Yeah. Wow. Man. Yes, sir. So yeah, you vibrating that love, bro. I'm hitting it myself, man. What's up on the south side today, bro?
It's a good day. Very nice weather. Didn't see any problems anywhere. You know, in my travels during the earlier part of the day, just an excellent day.
Yes, sir. That's what's up, man. Yeah, everything on this end of Cali, you know, more sunshine, and you know, more traffic, more smog. You know, what do you
Yeah,
say? You wish for the rain or something. You got to go with the mud. I forgot how that quote had went, but you get the
yeah,
whole gist of it.
yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Looking for rain, you need the rain, you gotta deal with the mud.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. It's funny, man. We be running those quotes, and somehow they be sticking. G.
Man.
So yeah, man. Let's see here. Yeah. So today, in case you guys, you know, can't comprehend the title, what we're unpacking here today for everyone in Self Luv Nation. Our topic is the genius and us. Hmm? Yeah,
Yeah.
genius. Hmm? Hmm? Yeah,
Yeah.
and us, self love. So, just giving you a quick overview so the nation can know what to expect. We're going to give, I guess, some definition or add some meaning to genius. We'll look at, you know, what Webster says. You know, but you know, who's Webster? Question everything and everybody. Hmm? Who's Webster? Who was his dad? And then also, we're going to list, you know, some notables. We'll talk about that. Is it related to the IQ test, things of this nature? Origin of that IQ test. We're going to take a look at a Stanford study. What is genius? Character traits, nature versus nurture, you know, brains and the genius. Tips. Hmm? Yeah? Tips from a genius? Or the tips from a genius? I don't know. We question everything, but tips on how to become a genius. I don't know if they've asked a genius, but we've got that for you. And then accidental genius theorem. Okay. That accidental genius theorem is something that is created by, it's being, you know, manifested by yours truly. And then of course, you know, we're gonna, you know, get that right on down to my favorite personal part of the show, which is gonna be yeah, wordsmiths uh final words out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great show. Get
Man,
ready.
man. And bro, tomorrow we got Vernon Lynch Jr., uh, a big time producer. His son's a professional fighter. It's blessing us with Hollywood producer, that is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's going to sip the Self Luv Nation tomorrow. So big ups to Vernon. He's joining the gang, the Give Back gang.
Yes, sir. Looking
That's
forward to
Give Back.
that one.
What's that, brother?
Said looking forward to that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's Give Back gang for any 12 out there that may be, you know, starting final words. We're giving back. We're changing the lexicon here. Right.
Absolutely.
And this brother is, you know, giving us his time. It's not from shy. You know, we don't, we deviate, um, seldomly do we deviate from shy. However, you know, there's a time and a what.
Place for everything.
That's right. That's right. And so we got Mouthpiece included, Kwame Brown. Big ups. We're going to talk politics of the GOAT, Kwame Brown. You know, he's the GOAT. Number one draft pick out there. He's got a mouthpiece on him. Is he going to be on Mouthpiece included this Thursday? No. I mean, you know, unless you guys know something I don't know. But, you know, Self Love and I throw it out there. Maybe one day, you know, he'll be on Mouthpiece included somewhere
Yeah.
down the road.
Yeah. Facts.
However, facts. However, we are doing a show on Kwame, and he's not a goofy. He's not a lame. He says he wants to get his message out. And he actually said, you know, he's going to make his money and everything. And he doesn't, you know, bank his whole life off the money from YouTube. And he tells everybody, hey, use my content, right? I say it too. TATN says, use this content. Self Love Show. Use it. Use it. Plug it. You know, use it, right? Big Nick, South Florida, has told us it's okay for us to use it, right?
Yeah.
But to each his own. Choose the mobile phone, right? So,
Facts.
yeah, fact. But so we're going to use some of Kwame's video on Thursday, 9 p.m. Central, for Mouthpiece Included. We talks politics. You know, I suggest you guys check that out. Random Silverbacks who are, you know, talking sports and politics. Any geniuses in the chat? If you have any children who are geniuses, and I'm sure we all do, everybody's child's the smartest child on the planet, but come on. All right. But I mean, seriously, you know, 3 years old, playing that piano, or whatever it is, you know what it is. But we want to hear from you. That's what we want to do. We'd like to hear.
Facts and more facts. We also need you to share, subscribe, hit the bell. So every time we upload a video or go live, you are made aware. It's very important. It also helps the algorithm get us out to a further reach. As always, we have some housekeeping and then a couple of videos that I want you to pay very close attention to. So we're building our platform on it. But first, we have the Self Luv Show quote of the day. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Unknown where that came from. But like I said, we'll get into it.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show
Please like,
to
share,
put,
subscribe.
quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be clear and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child, for said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children. Ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Luv Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
Facts. We're live.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number one,
Genius.
repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number two, connect our breadwinners with our activists.
Facts.
And three, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town.
Facts.
Four, shine a light on positive influences. 5, heal our community one person at a time.
Yes.
6, provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers.
Unfiltered.
7, recycle the black dollar.
Yeah, buddy.
8, to provide mentors for the mentorless.
For the mentorless.
9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
Absolutely. give big fat ups to my brother, that new Carl Seaton, man. Man, great show from Wednesday, new.
Man, amazing. It was really great conversation.
Huh? Man. And when we got into the true and false segment, we asked him about the big Baphomet, if everybody's, part of Luma Booty, and he answered that. If you guys want to check it out, you can see it, right here on TATN in the Self Luv Show. And you can go to the Self Luv Show for episodes, or you can quite simply just look from last Wednesday. It shouldn't be too hard to scroll and find that, huh, Self?
Just Google TATN Carl Seaton.
Ah, yes. Is that genius? We're going to unpack that. Some said that Yeshua was genius, but the simplicity, right, of the Sermon on the Mount, and the way Yeshua was able to communicate without, using words that made everybody think that he went home and smelled his own farts. Right?
Facts.
Was that genius? Or is it genius when you go listen to a professor and he uses all these words and you have no idea what just happened? I mean, there's different types of genius, right?
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
There's physical genius, there's mental genius, there's spiritual genius.
Yeah. So, we're going to get into that shortly here. But good news. Did you see, man, it was a senior, bro, Pink Cat. He was playing Officer Friendly out there. I think he was pulling he pulled a Zimmerman, a George Zimmerman, so to speak, on another citizen who was speeding through the community. Yeah, similar, not as bad, but yeah, I mean, we pulled up something out there, and big ups, all right, big ups to Fox 35, all right, if it's not in coaches, if it's not in what's his name? I don't know the name he uses on here, but if it's not in his box, it's not on Fox. Big ups.
Yep.
Road rage leading to fists flying in Flagler County.
We have to
One
talk
person
about
now
it.
facing
Fair
some serious
use.
charges.
We have to educate
Fox
so we can
35's
get away
Holly
with it.
Bristow has the story.
They're just starting to get into a fight. I don't know what's going on.
A road rage incident coming to a
Kids,
head in
don't
the
do
middle
this.
of a Palm Coast neighborhood. Caught on camera by a bystander, two men duking it out, rolling around on the ground.
Traffic control by vigilanteism doesn't work. And it leads
But
to
he's
incidents
talking about
like
this
this.
man like
Flagler
he's a
County
human
Sheriff
being.
Rick Staley tells
Yeah,
Fox
not the
35
vitriol,
News this
like,
all
you know what I'm
started when the
saying?
motorcyclist
This is all we need is
accelerated
balance,
past
people.
this truck
Look
in
at
the
this guy.
opposite direction on Ponce de Leon Drive.
The driver of the pickup truck that he passed felt he was going too fast. So they made hand motions. I guess that upset the motorcycle rider. So he stopped.
The bystander's video starts with the truck and the motorcycle side by
So he's
side.
trying to blame the motorcycle
The
rider.
driver getting out of his truck to
Look.
confront the
He
motorcyclist.
put it in gear.
His truck rolls
Correct.
because
Worried about
he forgot
safety.
to put
Worried
it
about
in
safety.
park. He grinds the gears, putting
Grinded
the truck
his
in
gears,
park,
didn't even hit the
then
brakes.
taunts the motorcyclist.
He was about to hit a pole.
Deputies say 6'8",
Look at him. Who does he
310-pound,
look like?
69-year-old William Markert pushes the 5'10", 160-pound biker
Jesse
before
Ventura.
he jumps up to throw a punch to defend himself. Passerbys honk their horns, trying to get the men to stop. Deputies charge
Look, Shorty
Markert
got the
with
best of
battery. Sheriff Staley says it never should have come to this.
69 out there. I'm sorry.
Ignore
You gotta
it.
be
Don't
slow.
let anger take over. Get a tag
Okay.
number, call the sheriff's office.
Yeah, the sheriff ain't
let
shooting.
us
Look, sheriff drove
respond
right
to
past.
investigate.
Was that
In
the
Palm
sheriff?
Coast, Holly Bristow, Fox
Take
35
that back
News.
a little bit. I hope that wasn't the sheriff that drove right past him.
Right now, 3:30, break in the case.
Just
A
hit that
woman
arrow
accused
back.
of a high.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we'll go through it later.
Wow.
Hey,
That's crazy,
yeah.
bro.
Fair use, everybody. Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with these guys, man? I mean, what gives him the right? And I think both of them could be charged almost, because the guy on the motorcycle had a lot of chances where he could have just kept going on about his business.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You don't know what he was saying to that guy under that helmet,
At
right?
all.
Because they said the guy waved and he didn't like it, and the motorcycle guy stopped. See, kids, this is how people get shot. So bear that in mind, kids. This is how people get shot. So, and big ups, you guys. Thanks for your, support. Let's like, share, and subscribe. Let's like, share, and subscribe.
So,
But,
yeah.
bro, did you hear about the Maryland woman charged with the robbery?
No, bro. You know I'm unplugged for the most part.
Oh man, you gotta see this one. And big ups to WPLG10 and also to production. All right, it's a short video, then we're gonna get the show going.
Starts right now. Right now, 3:30, breaking the case. A woman accused of a high-price heist is now in custody.
The arrest comes 2 years after police say she drugged a man and took off with thousands of dollars in cash and valuables. Local 10's Ian Margot is joining us live from West Miami-Dade with this story. Ian.
We've heard this story so many times, right? A man and a woman go back to his place. They're having some fun, having a couple of drinks, and then the next thing he knows, he's waking up and jewelry, cash, it is all gone. That is what this woman is being accused of, and she's facing some serious charges.
When you're meeting these strangers, you're taking them home, they're giving you pills.
Sydney Compton in a Miami-Dade courtroom on Monday facing new charges stemming from what police say was a plot to steal cash and jewelry from unsuspecting men.
They've now added a burglary with a battery.
According to an arrest affidavit, Compton met the victim at Sugar, a rooftop bar and lounge in Brickell, back in August of 2019. Then the two left the bar and went to the man's apartment nearby. The victim told police he and Compton started having a few drinks and then, quote, after a few minutes, they went into his bedroom where the victim went into a deep sleep. Hours later, he woke up feeling like he had been drugged and seeing that his Rolex watch, along with $2,000 in cash, were missing. And so was Compton. For almost 2 years, she evaded law enforcement until mid-April 2021 when she was arrested and officially charged with grand theft for a different but very similar case.
And then she was rearrested.
She bonded out of jail on that charge, but was picked up again on the 24th while she was at Club Komodo and charged with this case.
So Compton just paid her bail on this case, but I have just learned she has now been charged with another case of grand theft. We are awaiting the details on that one, but according to her attorney, she may not be even getting out of jail today. Will likely be back in bond court again
but who's raising these people?
Facing this third case.
Now, I'm going to say this.
We will keep you updated.
It's going to be tough
we're
to
live
prove
in West Miami-Dade. I'm Ian Margot.
Because she's going to go in front of a pink jury. She's going to put that makeup on and start crying tears. And she's going to turn it around, talk about allegedly. Now, she allegedly was abused. But I'm saying you have to have evidence of this. You have to have evidence. Yes, there's evidence that she came to the apartment. Yes, there's evidence that whatever happened, happened. You have to have evidence that he didn't drug himself. And now, the logistics of this case is going to be key. Right? Evidence.
Yeah, I mean, if she has his Rolex, then if she still has some of the gains, which she probably doesn't, this jewelry and stuff, she probably got rid of that right away.
And if he had a camera in his house and they saw her putting drugs in the drink or something like that, that's evidence. I'm saying, I'm not giving her a defense, but she could just say, man, this dude was popping his own pills. I don't know what he was doing. I didn't see $2,000 or a Rolex. I left because he passed out. Evidence. Listen, I'm not trying to make her a case.
No,
but,
I feel you.
But that evidence.
The 3 cases hurts her too.
They can't be used. Can't be used. And for the news to do that is irresponsible. Those 3, she's innocent all 3 times.
No doubt.
I'm just saying theoretically. You know what I'm saying? Theoretically. But what I'm saying, bro, is the point I'm making here though is it's going to be an interesting case because if it works that way for her, then now it has to work both ways. When women are going before the jury and saying, this guy drugged me, it's really word versus word. I'm not talking about the women who this really happened to, like with allegedly with the Breakfast Club guy. We don't want to say his name. Allegedly, I'm not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the people like her. Allegedly, like this lady we just saw with that mindset, that greed, allegedly, potentially, which she may have done to a boyfriend or ex-husband or something of this nature.
Man.
Does that make any sense?
she was a predator from my feeling.
Yes,
and
if what
you
they're
know,
saying is true. Yeah, go ahead,
right.
bro. My bad.
No, I'm just saying, I feel certain stuff. Yeah. It's alleged, but yeah, she did it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I know is that news, but I hear you, bro. Who's raising these people if she did do it? That's the point we make here. They like to show black girls and then, say words,
Man.
you know what I mean? You're right. Having one
So,
night stands, allegedly.
oh, she's not even getting to that. She dragging them and then just taking it. They ain't even say nothing about no
Allegedly. But if I was her
allegedly.
lawyer, I would say that no, I'm a prostitute and they pay me the $2,000 and it's a less crime. And that's what I would show up to court and say. I'm a prostitute. This man gave me his Rolex and a $2,000. And I'm trying to be discreet about these things, allegedly. I mean, we don't know what happened, bro. We just don't know. Just because the news gets there with a funny guy with a microphone and tells stories about what the police said, we
Yeah.
all know that the police allegedly, allegedly, make shit up all the time.
They do.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But now the 3 other cases, that's going to be an issue for her in her legal team. But that's why she's going to have to say she was a what? Prostitute.
Man, that was
got
a
to play
great
down to the
defense out
prostitution.
there.
What do you think I'm doing at Sugar?
That's a great defense, bro.
Yeah, and if you're her boyfriend, if you're the guy on the other side making her do it, you show up to court allegedly and say you were the pimp.
I don't know about that without the incrimination out there. You're gonna incriminate yourself walking the court and say, yeah, I'm the pimp
If
out
you
there.
if you had her out there doing it as opposed to going to work and taking care of the household, you should do the time, is what I'm saying. Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly. Because the females are always the victims. You know what I mean? They're always from abuse and lifetime of abuse. And it's sad.
That's
It's really
not
sad.
always the case out
They're
there.
always helpless. They're completely helpless out there.
No,
Hey, can I not
changing
say that?
stuff out there.
I don't know if I can't say
Sometimes
it.
they're the aggressor out there these days out there.
Hey, I've seen them, busting the
Out there
blicks.
trying to attack,
Yeah.
running up on men.
Yeah.
Like they can beat
Trying to
them
cut.
up.
Cut.
Watching all these TV shows and movies that got the woman as the star beating up everybody.
Yeah.
It's in their psyche.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Allegedly.
Now, enough these appetizers of self-love.
Yes, sir. Let's quench the thirst of the self-love nation.
Absolutely, good brother. Absolutely. And big ups to the chat. And I'm the overseer from Vegas. Big ups, bro. Appreciate your support, brother.
Much respect.
I missed the man cave, bro. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to the fam.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Let's see. So we want to get this going here, and we appreciate everybody's support. This show won't be too long. We're getting prepared for tomorrow. So let's see here. What is genius self-love? And this question is for the chat, and you can leave it in the comment if you don't watch the show live. What is genius to you?
The ability to do some things that no one really else can do.
Yeah.
And it's more natural than not. You know what I mean? It's not Well, no, because you can become a genius. You can work really hard and become a genius as well.
Well, I mean, that's part of the question. You're hitting on to something, but that, I mean, well, go ahead with that. What are you feeling on that though? Is it natural or not, or can you become a? Hey, you're hitting on a lot of stuff. Which one is it? What are you feeling?
I think it's both. Actually, that's what opened up that it is natural. There are natural geniuses that you just like, oh my God, and from birth, and then there are those that work at a skill that they already have a high proclivity at, and work to become to a genius level. So
So could somebody be a genius, say, tow truck driver? I think so.
Absolutely.
I think you're gonna have a genius driver who can figure out, I could tow off this mountain. You know what I mean? How I can do this and that. Right?
Yeah. Yes. There's definitely that.
No, you hit naturally on something that we are going to cover. You got some geniuses in mind that jump out at you, and anybody in the chat, you want to type that in the any geniuses? I'll throw one at you. Albert Einstein. Yeah.
He definitely worked at it. It wasn't natural for him.
Did he? Well, they did some studies on his brain. I don't know. Just because he wasn't scoring high in those bullshit schools doesn't mean that he wasn't already a genius.
Well, I think he worked at it. They lined up. It lined up.
I see some similarities for the so-called geniuses I see. Usually their parents have some sort of level of education or some sort of experience in what the genius ultimately becomes and does. So in the tow truck theory, the kid watches his dad tow and do things, and then that kid starts out at an early age and then becomes a genius at it through, like you said, the practice at the time, things of this nature.
Yeah. Factual.
Weird, man. Yeah, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Weird. So Einstein, Miles Davis, you got some geniuses in mind?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of lesser names. There's
Well, okay. Go ahead. Imhotep. I'll name some as you're thinking, and if I throw one out there that you disagree with, please say, "Oh no." All right.
Yeah, doubt it if you will, but Imhotep.
Prince Roger Nelson. Prince Rogers Nelson, later known as the Symbol.
Absolutely. I agree.
Orville or Wilbur Wright. I don't know which one. Both of them can't be the genius. They always give them both credit. I have to do more research. But the one who designed that, they like, it's always reported like they were both doing it.
Yeah,
I have to do research on that. The Wright brothers. We'll say the Wright brothers. Is that genius?
Yeah.
I think they worked at it. Now, I think that's an example of people who worked at itself, right? Because that didn't exist. They got out there and was practicing and stuff.
Made something
that
was done a long time before they did it. But it was done before. It just got
Were there gliders before that? No, there were no gliders. We weren't even using those before the Wright brothers. How about Nikola Tesla?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I got one for you. It's how to tickle the brain. Meyer Redshield. Can we say Meyer Rothschild on YouTube? Meyer Rothschild. I would say yes.
Yeah.
Banking genius. You can't take nothing away from that. Okay, how about this one? Adolf, I'm going to say no.
I am going to agree with you on no. I'm trying to.
He was crazy, remember? So I'm going to say no. Master manipulator, but I'm not going to say genius. Somebody was behind him, though. That was probably yes. There was a genius. Yes.
Amongst that.
So this brings us to, and we're going to discuss this later with the chat. Do geniuses have to be positive? Do they have to be positive?
No.
Do we have to like them?
No.
No. No. Do they have to be right? Does a genius have to be? Oh, hi, I'm 9 Mills. I'm a genius. In your name, you know what I mean? Does a genius have to be that?
No.
Now, I want to give you an example according to Webster's, a definition, my bad. So the word genius, if you put it in plural, it's genii, Genii, sounds like a genie. Now, listen to the order of these definitions. Number one, and the way they do this is they go way back to Old English, so an attendant spirit of a person, place. That's when you look up genius, it says nothing about smart, incredible, Einstein. It says an attendant spirit of a person, place. Okay? Do your own research. This is Webster's, people. Now, the second definition, genius is a strong leaning or inclination. So let's break this down. According to Webster's, the first definition is an attendant spirit of a person, place. And the second definition is a strong leaning or inclination. Okay. Definition 3, a peculiar, distinctive, or identifying character or spirit. We still haven't heard anything about intellect. We haven't heard anything about smartness. We haven't heard anything about the SAT test or the ACT test or the ability to memorize a bunch of stuff, random information thrown at you, and you got to regurgitate it. We haven't heard anything, and we've gone through the first 3. Let's listen to number 4. Spiritual jinn. Hey, listen, I'm not making this up. No. I just said that wrong. Glasses. Spirit, comma, jinn. That's number 4. Spirit, comma, jinn. And jinn is spelled Jinn. Okay? This is when you look up genius in the dictionary. Okay? Okay, so don't let them fool you. Oh no. Now, the 5th and the final, you have to read all of this to get to what many of us have been led to believe that genius is, which is almost like being a slave if you're not the top 4. A single aptitude, comma, mental superiority.
Wow.
That blew my mind, bro.
Yeah, you just blew mine.
Man, that blew my mind, bro. I looked at that. And I had asked my mom, bro, after having this information.
Yeah.
I asked her, and she pretty much gave this definition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Well, carry the show.
For sure. Well, we're gonna check the chat. I guess when we were asking about geniuses, I'm the overseer said George Washington Carver. I mean, I would have to agree. He did a lot of amazing things. A lot of amazing things, and more than just with peanuts. Excuse me. When you think about genius, and they talking about a jinn, a spirit / a jinn, aptitude with high inclination. Yeah, all of those kind of rotate and blend with being a physical genius, mental genius, and a spiritual genius. So I think they are all genius, but one of those
Bro,
definitions.
I don't want to harp on it, but this would be something that I would really point out to my children. Number 1, an attendant spirit of a person, place. So that's like a spirit.
Yeah.
Number 2, and I think it's that little light me and my mom was talking about. Number 2, a strong leaning or inclination. A peculiar, a distinctive, or identifying character or spirit or jinn. and the fifth is a single aptitude or mental superiority. So according to them, none of this that we're talking about has anything to do with intelligence.
Right.
Quote, end quote. All right. Einstein, we mentioned him. Michael Jackson, is that a genius?
Yes, absolutely.
Michael Jordan. I'm surprised you're hesitating. I'm going to say, hell yeah, without doubt.
Incredible.
Without a doubt, he's a genius. He's probably
aptitude. Go.
No, that's white supremacy. Nobody's born with that.
I didn't say he born with it. I said he had the ability. It wasn't natural ability.
No, he used to get the shit beat out of him by his brother.
Yeah, he worked his tail off.
What he did on that court was genius. I'm surprised you, even as a basketball player, would even hesitate after all these people we mentioned. I'm shocked. You have a right to. I am shocked that you hesitated to say, so I want to hear the explanation. Why the hesitancy of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who's now a billionaire, being a Jordan? I mean, being a genius.
Off the court stuff that's not dealing with basketball.
Well, shit. Beethoven was probably a dickhead for all we know.
Yeah, I didn't mention him either, but for all we know,
all these people were dickheads for all we know. You just said when we were talking earlier that you don't have to be nice to be considered a genius.
That's true.
But this black man, we hesitate. Well, I'm gonna say this: total genius, in my opinion. Big up to Michael Jordan. What I saw him do on that court was genius. All right,
absolutely
dunking on the big men, the winning championships, and they said a little guy can't do it, and all this and that.
Absolutely on the court.
He fought the media and all that they tried to do with him, but everybody's entitled. You didn't never said he wasn't. You never said he wasn't.
Right, absolutely on the court.
Yeah, you never said he wasn't.
No, absolutely on the court. That's why the hesitancy.
Correct. I know what you're saying.
Hesitancy.
He wasn't a genius when he drafted Kwame Brown.
Yeah.
But again, if you saw Beethoven with a basketball, you know what I mean? He probably
couldn't exist out there with that.
And I guarantee you a lot of these people were dicks. Because if you're spending time on your craft, you're not going to be so socially inept a lot of times. This is part of my studies, but we're going to get further. I'm getting ahead of myself. Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, the black man. That's the doctor who first open heart surgery. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Doesn't matter if he was a jackass off the court.
No.
You wouldn't hesitate.
No, I don't know nothing about his off.
But the guy who got us 6 chips, we gotta hesitate.
I see his stuff. That's what it is. I'm living in the same time as him. I can see his stuff. You know what I mean?
It's just an attack.
And then we're talking about basketball.
It's an attack on the black man by white supremacy. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was white. They wouldn't be even report. I guarantee you, Larry Bird was a dickhead. All right, but I love Larry Bird and he's a genius. All right, but I'm just keeping it 100. This is grown man talk, allegedly. All right, now NASA computer. That's what they call the computers. The computers were actually humans. So you know the lady from the movie, Katherine Johnson, the mathematician. So you're real quick with these mind nerdy types. You can absolutely. But the other ones, the athletes, you just hey, listen, man, you're unpacking some stuff.
We said one person out there. What else did I say?
We want to hear from the chat.
What else did I say out there? You talking about one person out there.
But it's money and
Jordan. Right, absolutely on the court.
You never said he wasn't, but I'm just shocked. Bro, I'm shocked, all right? We can't script this. I am shocked. All right? You wouldn't have answered like that probably pre-accident. Right? All right, here we go. So Philip Emigual. That's the internet guy. That's the guy you said from Nigeria.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, damn yeah.
Yes. We wouldn't even be able to do this right now if he didn't.
Well, now
have some issues where he needed to link computers together and to get it done.
Do a YouTube on him right now. White supremacy. Do a YouTube on Malcolm X, and he won't look like a genius. Do a YouTube search on Google, Small Ups to the Baphomet on Martin Luther King. You'll find out he had all types of issues and he wasn't a genius. You look up Philip Emugual, they're saying he had issues and he was claiming that he did a lot of stuff that he didn't credit for. It's all white supremacy, bro. They own all this stuff that we're on, bro, and they just bombard us with nonsense about our geniuses. Like Kanye West, all of our geniuses, they bombard us with nonsense, bro. And it doesn't matter what they're doing off the court. They are geniuses, and you can't take that away from them. You know, the rest of it is opinion. You know, and opinions are like assholes. We all got them, and they all smell like shit. All right, here we go. That's just my opinion. Here we go. All right. Mark E. Dean. Now he invented the PC, the IBM 3 patents. Think that's a genius?
Who? What did he invent?
The PC. He had 3 of the not allegedly. He had 3 of the major patents, and he was smart enough as a black man born in America. Mark E. Dean. That's the dude I was confused. Remember you told me Emugo was from Nigeria and on another
Yeah.
show, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
This guy was a
Yeah.
genius at IBM that literally invented
Made
the PC that put it all into. So
Right.
again, yeah, without either of these guys, we wouldn't be, where we
Right.
are. So he gets credit, and he had 3 other patents for the chip. One of them was for that chip. Yes, black man. Yes, sir. Genius. See what we can do, Baphomet, when we don't have guns in our hands and the lean. You see what we can do? Yeah. Yeah. You're trying to kill God. I know what you're trying to do. Can we say that on YouTube, so?
Not sure anymore.
Allegedly, the devil was trying to kill God. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've been trying for a long time, whatever that entity is.
Yeah. Can't kill that exists. All right. And then lastly, but not least, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett. Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett. Now, she is the sister that created the COVID vax. Genius.
Oh,
here we go.
I don't know because I don't.
All right, I ain't, bro. I'm the overseer says George Washington Carver was a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made the peanut great, right? I know he did a lot. They don't give him credit.
He did way more than just the
Yeah,
peanut.
they had me thinking he made peanut butter. I'm serious. When I was a kid,
he didn't make peanut butter though.
Yeah, I think he did make peanut butter, but
no, he didn't. There was somebody else somebody else credited with that. But he did 300 things with peanuts. Like
I think if we marketed George Washington Carver peanut butter, we
would blow up, no doubt. Because until I looked into it, you know what I mean? I just knew he made peanut butter.
Look at that. Look at that. Ignorance is bliss, huh? Yeah. So, I'm gonna go into next. Is intelligence or IQ genius? And that's why I was beating you up a little bit because we're leading into this next segment. Which is intellect, versus some of the more esoteric qualities. And bro, what we're doing here, scientists, doctors, they have these debates. They can't. There is no, that's the thing about it.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to, literally trying to unpack. That's what we're unpacking here, attempting to unpack. So let's see. We did that. We did that. Oh, wrong show. How do we do all that? All right, here we go, bro. All right. So now we listed the geniuses. IQ. We're gonna do a history of that, but self-love, if you could kind of just tell the chat in the nation science of the self-love, please. Can you just break that down for everybody?
The science of the self is we are all a part of each other. We are all cells of a bigger being. We are the cells of the creator of all. Just like we're made up of however many cells we're made up of, we're all cells of the creator. Here to expand the whole situation, get some real live information for the creator, which is for us. So we are expanding the Self Luv Nation daily. Each one of us. So we need you. I need you to please share with like-minded individuals. It's very, very important. Now, we're hitting on some stuff with the genius, and I'll say why I don't know if the lady, is a genius that made the, because I don't know. Well, yes, I have to say yes. I have to change my mind, say yes, because it doesn't matter about the vaccine and the fact that she made it and all of that. Judgment's not part of it. So I have to change my opinion there. Yes, she's a genius. Facts. Facts and more facts. We'll have a great show tomorrow for you. It's going to be excellent, bro. Just trying to see. Okay. What? I want to get too far out of range. Those definitions, just to go back for a second, like I said, there's a connection between those that makes me feel like that's sort of saying it's a spiritual and a physical and a mental, although it didn't speak about the physical as much. But having an aptitude to do something at a extraordinary level is not the norm on this planet right at this time. There are not as many people that are putting that much time and energy into their craft. I don't want to say that. That's making a judgment.
Well, we're unpacking. We're unpacking. And well said. Well said. What's that?
I changed my opinion on the young lady with the vaccine, because I was making a judgment about the vaccine instead of just the fact that she created the virus, a virus that they've never had made any virus from.
Well, not the virus. She created the virus.
The vaccine, the vaccine
China
from
virus.
RNA. Yeah.
Can we say China virus?
No, we can't.
Okay, all right, I'll take that back. But I'm not blaming. I'm saying that's what the Chinese were calling it, the Wuhan or whatever town it started. Chinese call it that.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up. But, all right. Okay.
Yeah. I think
Small
somebody's suing 45 for calling it that.
Who? The China, the communist?
I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Anybody can sue for anything, and I'm just.
Yeah, 45.
That's why I said no out there.
He's a slippery. He's the slipperiest one of the slipperiest guys in history. Is slippery. That's why they put him in that position, boy. He's been slipping out of knots. This boy, that he's like Harry Houdini. Is he a genius? Donald Trump?
Oh, that's.
Because he could be dumb as a fox, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Laughing all the way to the bank.
It's very true. He's gotten to the place where he's at. Well, and out of the place, so.
And hasn't spent a second in jail. All the stuff everybody's alleged. Same all the way up to the presidency. They need to lock him up. They need to, everything. Hadn't done 2 seconds in jail, bro. Not even spent it overnight because he was drunk fighting one night.
He
don't
probably
drink
won't either.
Well, according to him, he don't drink, do drugs, nothing.
He don't drive either, so it'd be hard to get him on some of that anyway.
He was raised by, I guess, according to him, a devout mom, like literally devout. And then his dad was, he didn't say K, he didn't say triple K, but we've done some research. But his dad was involved in that and was a capitalist. Right? That's weird balance, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's weird balance. But it's a whole different God, so small ups to Donald Trump. All right, so the IQ test originated in 1904 by an Alfred Binet and Theodore Simon. It was funded, Self Luv, and you follow the money. Who would fund such a thing? Before I did this research, I was thinking it was that, that racist, you know what I'm talking about, eugenics. And you're going to find out, yeah, I was right. Now, it was funded by French ministry. That's the Illumabooty, everybody. We can say Illumabooty. The French ministry, 1900s eugenicist. Okay. He used the test to judge, or you could say select, candidates for sterilization. This is what the IQ test is. Yeah, take the IQ test. What's your IQ? What's your IQ? Yeah, your IQ. It was created to decide whose balls they were going to cut and whose ovaries they were going to pull out, people. It was eugenics. Same thing with this Charles Darwin in science and evolution. No, that was made up to call you a monkey, people. But I don't know if I can say that. According to me. Right? Here we go, so.
You can say that, that's for sure.
All right. Yeah, it's hard to have an opinion these days, especially as a black man. All right, here we go. Now, 1900s eugenicists used the test to judge select candidates for sterilization. They also use it to decide inmates, okay, who were slated for corporal punishments. Yeah, talk about some racism. They used to direct quality certain types of children's education. More racism, the funnel. We've talked about it on all our shows. You know what I mean? Stuff with the education shows, the funnel, the justification. Have it. But then would you get on the IQ test? It's culturally biased. The culturally, they never that. Would you get on the ACT? No, they never taught you shit. Would you only got to what? He's stupid. He's stupid.
Thanks.
Yeah, we do it to ourselves because we're ignorant. All right, but we're going to move further. Think, people. Use your brain. Do your own research. Read. Now, they used to direct quality types of children's education, the funnel we talked about. In World War I, Self Luv, and stop me if there's anything, you want to stop on and chime in on at any time. Feel free. Now, in World War I, the United States Army used it to place draftees, decide which kids would be out there in the front line and which ones would be doing the cush jobs.
Facts. Just a BS separator. But I wanted to go back for a second. We were I wrote a paper at U of I on the biasness of the ACT and all of those testing platforms. SAT, and rounded into how it was a problem for minorities at the time. I was saying minorities, but I really meant black people having to deal with that test to sit out a year. Prop 48.
You're talking about the athletes.
Yeah, Prop 48 situation,
and to make them less desirable from college recruiters.
Yeah. Think that they're not intelligent based on a culturally biased exam.
And I got to give this damn kid a scholarship for 1 year less of playing. They did redshirt him and all that, but still, it's an extra year at school, extra money, and it's less desirable. A Duke is not going to take that kid. Certain schools, you're right. Yeah, certain schools weren't going to take that kid. Yeah, didn't want them on campus. Yeah, good point, Self. Great freaking point. All right, also, and I heard this, but I never saw it documented. Okay, I've heard this in different podcasts and stuff with research. Okay, 12. All right, 12 will not hire cats who test too high on their tests. So I was wondering, like, damn. I took the fireman test. I never took the 12 test, but I'm like, damn, they never. Was I too dumb?
No,
But
if you
go ahead. No, go.
If you are higher thinking person, is more likely you will disobey an order.
Self-love, that's my truth, and that's your truth. But I remember hearing this from people on the inside, and this is how they condition their brains, and this is how those people can accept to ignore the fact that they were okay. But with the official reason being is they won't hire cats who test too high because the high scorers, such as yourself, would bore from the job, from such a menial job, and quit. That's the rationale that they've used to push down society's throat. Because most of us don't think.
Right.
They write a policy, say it on the news, you hear people say it, and we just okay. 1927, United States Supreme Court legalized forced sterilization of the, I'm not using these words, YouTube, this is from the research, quote, feeble-minded, okay, end quote, which were majority of the Mexicans and the Negroes were labeled feeble-minded. And there was a case went in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. It was Buck versus Bell. Do your own research. Okay. Legalized forced sterilization, compulsory sterilization on the basis of IQ, continued through the 1970s. So that case I told you about way back in 27, where our brain automatically said, oh, that's when they cleaned that up. No. In 1927, that's when they said the forced sterilization. And I remember my mom used to be telling me, "Self, we weren't born into like the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They were doing forced sterilizations through the mid 70s.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's freaking
That's
nuts.
The Nazi, bro.
Well, they brought them all over here, so
they taught them. Yeah, they taught them. You whatever. Brought them all over here. They are them, and them are they, and they are them, and them are they.
I mean, the scientists, they were, according to his story, scientifically more advanced, and they came here and started doing a lot of that.
A lot of my research said that it was the white folks here that trained the Nazis. I'm not talking about the science. I'm talking about the science of racism.
Oh, yeah, well, that's probably actual and factual.
I'm not going to give our KKK any kind of pass. I know you weren't doing that for learning ignorance from them when my research says that it was our KKK who taught them.
I was just strictly talking about science, and that's the distinction between the two. Yeah, and I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but this is monkey science. This ain't science. I know if you're talking about the engineering, yes, but this isn't science. You know what I mean? This isn't science at all. All that monkey science they were getting, all that eugenics and all of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Supposedly that came from these crackers. Can we say crackers? I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say crackers. All right. I got crackers in the cabinet right now. Can't say crackers. What are we talking? We're not calling people crackers.
Is that a Ritz?
Yeah, it's crackers. All right. So now, yeah, we've got to jump into this other study. Hold on here a second, bro.
Like, share, subscribe, far and wide.
Yeah.
Thumbs
Bro.
up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Forced sterilizations. We have to
They
reach
did
out
that
and
for a
see.
long time. That's crazy. To the
So we got to
70s.
start talking to our elders and see if we can find somebody who had the forced sterilization, see if we can get them on the show and talk about it and chronologue that for history. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Forced sterilization. Telling people they were slow and they put you in the LD class, you couldn't have babies, bro. We can't just walk away from that. Through the 70s.
Yeah. In the 60s, Fannie Lou Hamer, they didn't even tell her. She had to find out way after she had went to
Find
the
out what?
hospital for something that she was they sterilized her in
Wow.
Mississippi.
Why? Just random? Or they determined her stupid? Or
They ain't
low
determined her
IQ?
stupid. That she just went to the hospital and they just did it while she was there.
Yeah, they told me about that too. That they was just doing, you be in there for whatever, and they was just sterilizing people, and that's why when they say, it's weird how they keep us at around 12, 13% in population. It's weird, but what they don't know is it's a lot of us that look just like them. It's got all that DNA, and it's just a matter of what
time.
Yeah, we don't want to scare the pink people. Okay, here we go. We're going to move into a Stanford test, self-love. Stanford tracked 1,500 students, children. They all had an above high IQ score, 140 or higher. Okay. Their result was that above average IQ doesn't guarantee success. What say you about that? You agree?
Yes, because it's a test. It's not putting anything to action. It's not putting anything together. It's just a set of questions. So it's no way it can, predict success.
I mean, I think I couldn't have said that any better. So we're in agreement on that. Higher IQ does not, in the Stanford study, seems to agree with you as well, good brother. Yeah. So also, what is genius? So we're going to kind of get into that a little bit. According to National Geographic, because I think you defined it at the beginning. According to National Geo, genius is asking questions nobody thought to ask, combining and connecting old ideas into something new.
That is genius. I mean,
well, you talked about the Wright brothers. They took all that crap that existed from the bicycle, all that tech. They didn't invent that tech. They took all that and said we can use that and get that going, get these, get this going. And, you know what I mean? And
looked at the birds' wings to try to emulate the aerodynamics of it. They did a lot. They put a lot of things together that hadn't been put together before.
The cats who made the electric car, there was already a car that existed.
Yeah, facts.
There was already batteries and phones and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And they call these people geniuses now because they did what?
They made it all
happen
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Said, "Oh, we want to do this."
Yeah.
And they did this and this and put this and this up.
Yeah.
Bang.
And you know what they do? So if they hire people in the field with the hours you're talking about, the practice, born with a certain inclination, combination of it all.
Yeah.
And they think first. They draw up ideas. They think, how can we make this happen? And then they build a prototype. And then they get investors. All right. Now, so genius is asking questions nobody thought to ask, combining and connecting old ideas into something new. Vision, this is according to National Geo, vision, determination to leap into the dark.
I can't disagree.
leap right into the dark.
Yeah,
You know, and everybody's no.
I mean, to be truly creative, you gotta, go to where there's nothing been done before. I mean, especially, so that means, jumping into the dark, at least in my mind and how I see things.
Yeah, the unknown. Yeah. Genius. Let's see if we're here. I mean, good point, so that's a doggone good point. So we listed our geniuses, and you said IQ. We agreed does not equate to success necessarily, although it has been equated to better health, higher IQ.
Mm.
Yes. Are all geniuses good? We talked about that. Yeah. We both agree that geniuses aren't all quote unquote good. Of course, there is a judgment in that. What are personality genius traits? Self, you got any? Like when you think about geniuses, you mentioned Michael Jordan as one. Just think about those geniuses. Any genius you might think of mind. I don't know if Kanye is a genius, but do we know any geniuses? They would say Elon, and yeah, and the Microsoft guy. What are some character traits that you can think of geniuses? Smart ones that you have.
Having the ability to block out everything else and focus, a laser focus.
Okay. Any other traits?
Being able to trust themselves and not listen to what other people have to say. I mean, about them and about what they're doing. Ability to not care what the naysayers or someone who don't have the capacity to see their vision has to say. And I would have to say the ability to form of thinking. I guess it's the same as taking something old and forming it as new. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see. We're gonna tell you what Big Think YouTube channel. Big Think. Big ups to them. Let's hit this chat real quick. Omni Overseer said 45 got bread. I think. Yeah, he's talking about Donald Trump. Almost thought he was talking about Jordan, because remember Jordan had 45 for a minute. Minister Wakil L said he's been taught by some of the best, but the studies don't depict what pool of people they pick from. And he's talking about those Stanford studies. Yeah. It's usually, we were talking about that in the last show, about not the last show, but the show before that, having a good DNA pool when you're doing that.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah. So now, according to Big Think, genius character traits, geniuses tend to be alone in their head. Geniuses tend to work better solitary. Geniuses have the ability to intensely concentrate. Geniuses have a strong passion or inclination for abstraction, which can lead to being seen as socially awkwardness. Many geniuses are considered to have poor communication skills. According to infographics, open-mindedness, that's on YouTube, open-mindedness, they said that geniuses tend to be slow to action because of the contemplation. Geniuses tend to be night owls, independent thought, feeling misunderstood. Let's see here. Let me make sure I don't want to go too far. But anything on that Self so far that jumps out at you?
All of that seems right on the money. Like they got
they're misunderstood.
Yeah, because they have abstract thought. You know what I mean? That's why all that lines up. They have abstract thought. So limited communication because it's hard to communicate abstract thoughts. And
many of them are late speakers too. So as a kid, they're late to the because they're late to. They'll be trying to. Their motor skills aren't because they're abstract thinking. Go ahead, though. Yeah.
That all lines up.
Yeah.
Because if you're you're a poor communicator, then of these abstract thoughts, then that will definitely lead to working alone in a better capacity.
And saying things that seem random to people, right? That have some meaning. It's a cryptic meaning.
Right. Now the insomniac, I didn't know that. I didn't, but I guess I should.
Well, they didn't say insomniac.
Well, you said
night owls.
Night owls. Right.
That's not necessarily
completely different. Completely different.
Well, one makes it sound like some sort of sickness. Correct. Like the insomniac makes it sound like a sickness.
Well, one is you don't sleep at all. It ain't just up all night. One is you don't sleep. That's
correct.
Completely
You're trying
different.
to sleep and you can't. Yeah. The genius is they've been said to like even Salvador Dali, other many geniuses, and they say when they get right before the sleep state, many of them in sleep, that's when they have their best thought, and then that's when they're alone and there's no more distractions and there's no more other people's energy coming around and just taking you away from your thought, because a genius just wants to be able to focus on a thought without any distraction, and that's why they work at night.
Yeah, it makes sense to them. My most creative time is like from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. Not saying I'm a genius or anything, but during that time, I can,
Yeah, well,
it's just in me.
We're going to get into that because I called you a genius on your Ode to the Pros. We're going to talk about that. Got to save something for the second half, but that, are there geniuses out there? I mean, just because, again, do I need the white man to come around and point at someone and say he's a genius? You know what I mean? I've seen kids go from dirt poor and rich overnight. Now, if it wasn't the cartel or the mafia or somebody allegedly coming around and just giving them money, which we know does happen, and setting them up, right? If it wasn't some just big OG just doing that, whether they're black, whatever color, setting them up. I'm talking about the ones who came from the dirt, worked their way up, and you seen them.
Yeah.
Is there genius in that?
There's a genius in a lot of people that even had street hustling and go to prison. I mean, they was doing very well at street hustling and then go to prison and then come out and switch and just go into killing the game.
Killing the game, go making hundreds of millions. You're right.
Yes.
And people I know who've done time, they say they've met the smartest people they've ever met in their life in jail. Yeah. Not to mention all the inventions, the jailhouse inventions.
Yeah.
What do they say? Necessity or something about genius or something?
Is the mother of wit.
Mother of genius.
Yeah.
And wit works too, yeah. Let's see here. Abstract. Okay. Abstract communication. So I want people to think about this when they're thinking about the children and what educators are telling them. It could not necessarily be that they're slow, or it's just God. I don't know. Let me say God. They're just different. Okay, here we go. Abstract communication. Okay. Listen to this one, Self. Chaos. Disheveled appearance. Disheveled desk. Workspace. Yes. So I'm just saying. Limitless curiosity. Daddy, what's that? Daddy, what's that? Shut up, boy. Mommy, what's that? Why do they do that? Limitless curiosity. And you know the difference. You know the difference. We've all got kids. We all know people. Limitless. That's why we say question everything. Here's one, Self. Forgetfulness. Because the genius's mind is on what the genius's mind is on.
Right. And not everything else or any, like what?
Correct.
Oh, things like time.
Correct. Self, you seen them? You know, I used to see them walking around Hyde Park. They were at UFC. They'll walk right into you. They're walking around computing something in their head. You were talking about Einstein, and we saw him at U of I, and you were in engineering. You saw him? Man, people walk right in holes and stuff. You tell them to change their clothes. That's why Fuckerberg, can we say Fuckerberg? But that's why he big ups, man. Yeah, you gotta have a sense of humor. You can't cancel everybody. Just give me a dick. If you say dick. But anyway, yeah, he wears, like one outfit because he doesn't want to expend any energy. I mean, he's got a whole closet full of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a way to approach it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to spend any time. He's analyzed how important time is, and he doesn't want to spend any time primping. Okay? He spends a lot of time pimping.
TATN.
All right, here we go. All right, so determination. Okay, no. You said this. Okay, we're getting to some of the things you said. Learning from mistakes. There is genius in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Think about when you're teaching somebody you consider smart, that kid was genius, right? You tell them somebody do something wrong, you tell them the right way to do it. Oh, bam. One take, no mistake. You've seen it.
Right.
Some kid come in that lab and they got to do it a million times. That don't mean they're not a genius, but I'm just saying. That's what you're talking about, the born inclination cats. You got some cats that coming in, I got to do it again. And you heard it, and you're like, that was perfect. And then like, no, I got, yeah. I hear you. It's a ghost. All right, but learning from mistakes, focus, dogged determination. This is what you were talking about. And I think there is genius. Dogged determination to manifest the vision that nobody else can see.
Yes.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Listen to this one. Dreamy optimism.
Absolutely. Man.
Elder Watson Diggs. Consider Elder Watson Diggs a genius?
Yeah, those 10 gentlemen putting this together like they did.
In the KKK, in the KKK state.
Yeah, I mean, talking about 1911.
And then you and other stuff.
White campus.
And then all the stuff they did after they left the yard.
Man, yes, the amazing gentlemen, all genius.
Okay.
Including the charter members of Greater Beta chapter. Like, you look at their history, and you're like, what?
Man, silverbacks.
Man.
Right. Attitude. So now they said, okay, geniuses tend to have a great sense of humor, but oft misunderstood.
I could see that.
Yeah. You know how certain humor goes over certain people's head, and then you got to explain the joke, and then they say, well, if you got to explain it and do all that, it's not funny. It's like, no, you got to read a book. You know what I'm trying to say? Learn some words and some nuance. See how you're laughing at that? Yeah, because you understand. Somebody, they won't necessarily get that.
Right.
All right, here we go. Attitude. Great sense of humor. We said that. They said a genius knows how to think. That's what my physics teacher in high school was preaching, as opposed to what to think. We preach that. So.
Yes, absolutely.
The genius knows how. Unpack that for me. What does it mean, how to think? What does it
mean? To see a problem and to be able to effectively assess it and how to approach it. It's everybody doesn't do that. They don't know. A lot of people have to go ask somebody else what to think and what to do.
Most
person, yeah. If you know how to think, you can make an assessment yourself.
And let me say this. Most people choose to do that or are doing that out of ignorance because we all have that genie. But go ahead.
Yes. I'm just saying that's what most people do. That's their
Yes.
actions.
I just want to clarify that for you.
Yeah. Because it's not that you can't learn how to think. But you have to be taught though. Somebody has to explain it to you.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. If you're not born with it. Some people are born with it.
Right.
But you're right. Your brain's a muscle, and learning how to actively think and think for yourself is what it was called.
Right. Think for yourself is what it really is. Because
Like
there are some people that can think initially and then get taught out of it.
Yeah. Like my granddad would do stuff like, I work in his liquor store. He'd be ownership, not slave ship.
Mm-hmm.
He would give me some garbage and won't give me any instruction. I might have been like 7 years old, working at his store, learn how to work the register, everything.
Right.
Bring it up, keep people behind the bulletproof glass, and I wasn't that young. I was maybe 10 years old, 9 years old. Bulletproof glass, man, 79, 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, what on 8 tray. Everybody wasn't no shoot. Yeah, I wasn't hearing gunshots, but something was going on, but it was more control. Don't get me wrong. But here it is. My point is, he would give me the trash, and I would just be sitting there, waiting for him to tell me something. And just think about that. I would be sitting there, and then I would ask him, "Granddaddy, what you want me to do with this?" And then and he's looking at me like, "Stand there and hold it." And then I take the order because I'm not thinking.
Right.
I stand there. He comes by later. "What are you doing?" "You told me to stand here and hold it." He's like, "What should you do?" What is that you're holding? "This is garbage." And he said, "Where does garbage go?" Correct. I should have told him. Then why didn't you throw it in the garbage? You know what I mean? That should have threw me off. You know what I mean? I'm not the garbage can. You know what I mean? He'd have liked that, see? But I would have been thinking. But it connected some synapses in my head, bro.
Absolutely.
So that I wouldn't be one of those people looking for somebody to tell me what to think and what to do.
Facts.
These are the lessons we have to be teaching the little ones, how to think. And not, go to school and you got to tell them to go to school and do your lessons and memorize all that nonsense. But, how to think.
They don't teach that at school mainly.
They don't want you to think.
Right. So that needs to be taught at home.
Yeah, but we're going to eventually have that Saturday school going. We're going to figure out if we're going to do it on a separate network or if we do it right here on TATN. We get enough followers. According to here, you guys subscribe. All right, subscribe and get that Saturday school going at 999 subscribers. So we're working on that, and we'll make that happen. Okay. Now we're going to. I'll tell you what, Scotty. All right. So we unpacked. Yeah. So I agree with your definition of how to think, as opposed what to think. So that was a great breakdown. Good news. Let's see where we're at here. So we did the character traits. Let me check the chat real quick. You got anything in there? Okay, yeah, no, before you say that. The overseer said dive in the dark, and then the minister said facts. I wish I was monitoring that more closely and more timely. I got to do a better job of that. So let's see. Should be behind me on the screen. So I'll work on that after the halftime.
Oh, good.
Right. That's right. So yeah, you guys make sure you like, share, subscribe. You know, we want to unpack this for our community. We need to be able to identify the ones that, you know, quite factually, you know, need to be identified.
Facts. We absolutely need to see who can help us build this nation.
Facts.
Y'all know what the music means, y'all. Yes, sir. We're at halftime, y'all. Like, share, subscribe far and wide. We're building this organically. So we need y'all. Just like y'all need us, we need y'all. Let's build. Let's build. Let's build. So we've had a very good show. We're unpacking genius in us, defined and unpacked from a historical African American point of view. So we're gonna go to a video. We got a promo video for Vert. Balls of Kappa and Pender. Big ups.
Big ups.
We'll be right on back.
Big ups to Brother Pender, 2-time National Teacher of the Year, 16, 17.
This is right.
Got a kid with a learning thing? Call him. Say.
All right, fellas, now your first job every morning will be to sweep this walkway. Then, I want you to wash all the windows. Real good, too. And don't leave no streaks. Hey, hey, what are you doing? Get the hell out of here before I bust that camera!
Look, we're the ESPN people. We got this little misunderstanding. See, they're ESPN. I'm TATN. See, they got ESPN studios. I've got the studio.
Y'all muscles. Tonight is D night, date night, and do it night if I get them drunk enough.
For Spike TV's televised special, Eddie Murphy One Night.
This is a 100% positive experience.
This is long overdue.
There's no comedian better than him.
But Murphy wasn't so comfortable with all the praise.
That feeling like, you know, like when they're singing Happy Birthday.
Also a boxer. Nice to see you. What are you getting in here?
End of this year, I'll have my first pro fight, and I'll be fighting around 154 pounds. So Love forming bad news. Right, it's my nephew, Brandon Bad News Lynch.
Out of Los Angeles, California, making his pro debut, Brandon Bad News.
We were here in the locker room with Sean Porter seconds before his 12-round sparring session because his fight with Keith Urban got. First of all, what was it like for you to be in there and be part of this? Okay. Well, that's a good mouthpiece.
Yeah, it's a good one. Shout out to Mouthpiece guy.
Hold on. So what we doing now? We're touring with Bobby Brown, so they're R&B band, and Levert and Karen White. So to mix in, so it doesn't seem like, excuse me, just another hip hop group. So what we do is we try to make the show more R&B.
They got the big Baphomet. I got the big gift. We both got protected sources, intelligent producers, and talented hosts. But they use sellouts and coons. I use silverbacks.
Man, thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the Black community, for real. Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and you
Cam production
and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro,
They're so ignorant.
ignorant. Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is made for you and me.
The crazy
and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble. But go ahead, bro.
I'ma be the one when I'm done. If I made it this far, if I made it this far, I can make it anywhere. If I made it this far, if I made it this far.
We're back. Yes, sir. Woo. Man, Trafe, love this. It's the business. Welcome back to the Self Luv Show. Today we're breaking down Genius and Us, defined and unpacked from a historical African American point of view. What do y'all think? We got a lot more to unpack. This is my joint, Trife Mac. Check him out. His channel, Trife Mac. Like, subscribe there. Woo! Yes, sir.
I'ma be the one. Get it higher.
This far, anywhere.
If I made it this far, I can go anywhere. Anywhere. Yeah, that's my dog, man. Big ups, big ups. We're gonna get this moving on. We're gonna discuss Genius. Genius comes in many forms. She comes in many forms.
Absolutely.
Man, this is what we're unpacking today. We've done the research, but your brain won't expand if you don't what?
Open it. Take in information.
Facts.
Discern for yourself. Then do your research.
Absolutely. Man, you hit the nail on the head, good brother. So as y'all saw from that halftime video, we got Vernon Lynch Jr. He's a executive producer of Hollywood Exes. And He also produced the 30-year celebration of Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay.
And K9 Posse, huh, Self? You remember the K9 Posse?
I do.
Yeah.
That was like, man, what? Okay.
He looks like a young Tupac almost, huh? He got some little dance moves and everything. Yeah. Big ups. So yeah, that's what we got shaking out tomorrow. So we look to see you guys in here because we're going to unpack it and you're going to hear some stuff in why. You know, we take everybody through the same questions. Michael Jeffrey Jordan to sit there and we'll pretty much have the same
questions out there.
That's right. Same framework. That's right. Same framework, you know. There's some things in there. You know, did he punch Pippen? Why? What did Pippen do? What did Charles Oakley do to Pippen? You know what I mean? Why? You know, why did he allow it? You know, why do people allow it? But anyway, back to business. Back to business. But so we've unpacked the character traits, right?
Yeah.
All right. So in the second half here, we're about to jump into. Well, I'm going to ask you. We kind of touched on it, but I guess I have to ask you: are geniuses born or made? I think you were saying both.
Yeah, that's the only way I can really look at it and see it. That is both. You know,
so
some are nature and nurture.
So if I say nature versus nurture, you say both.
Yeah.
All right. Chat and anyone in the comments. Are geniuses born or made? Imagine there's really no right or wrong answer. Self Love says both. I tend to agree. I would have to say both. Nature versus nurture, I would definitely say both. Man, that's a question though, bro. That's a question that they've been asking. It is a question.
It's some just undeniable. Like the boy genius that was in college at 14 or whatever, and he was talking and reading by was talking before he's a year and reading and stuff when he was
You get the little black girl just tested higher than 4 points lower than Einstein. She's like 4 years old on the IQ test.
Yeah, that's
seriously.
What I mean.
She's in Mensa. Mensa is
right. I know
4 years old.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's boring.
That's boring. Is that boring?
Yeah. If she's
she
4 years old.
You don't think she was developing her mind when she was 1, 2, and 3, and just sitting there focusing it on something? No, they be saying these kids play with toys and do regular stuff.
Yes,
right. Look at cartoons. Got your favorite little cartoon.
That's born with. I just can't see it otherwise. Or being able to
if you're
play
gonna
an instrument and all that.
Well, if we're going to say it's born, we can't say DNA. Then we're going to have to give some credit to the ancestors. I'm not this big science guy.
I mean,
think there's an ancestor pushing through.
I'll say this. There are bloodlines that have very high intelligence and
a high number of geniuses per capita.
Yes, because it's just that bloodline develops that. It develops these type of people. Like, and it. I'm not sure because I haven't done any research on it, but I want to start. I'm going to start looking at genius MRIs or whatever, a brain scan and seeing that if there's something different.
Well, we got some brain science coming up here, just a little bit, but we haven't touched on it a lot. But there's a little bit of brain science coming up. But that's a question in itself as well.
And a lot of stuff just is passed down through.
Man, it doesn't have anything to do with the brain.
No, well, the DNA, the brain is a receptor. It's an instrument.
It's not capacitor.
Yeah, it's not where you think at. It has different components that your soul can operate, because your soul has all the knowledge and information, and you're working through your soul. The brain is the conduit to the body.
Okay, so your brain would be like the computer chip. Your heart would be the battery. So the computer chip has been programmed by something or someone or something, right? You're saying your brain is just that receptor, the computer,
Yeah.
the processor.
That takes the information and receives information from the body.
From where?
From the digits, from the senses. That's where it gets information. Your brain doesn't see anything. It doesn't feel anything. It only gets electronic pulses from
you. Go ahead. Yeah, but you remember when I asked y'all, what does the sun get? Right? Everything gets something, and I had come across something when I was doing, I think, research on something else. And someone else was asking that question. And they were asking that question at the dawn of time. And maybe that's why we say the Son of God and the Son, like it's just giving, 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 giving. It's just giving.
It's got to be getting something. And if it's not from this side, it's from the other side of it. Some say it's a portal.
It's got to be getting something.
Yeah, so some say it's a portal. So it's getting it from the other side.
Yeah.
That's a way to examine it and look at it.
Now there's a TEDx talk. This guy, I don't think he was a genius, but he had done a crap load of research. And we would have been able to play the videos, but you know how that acts so funny.
Especially with the editor acting crazy.
Yeah, and let you play my videos without asking me. I don't get it. When I hit play, when I went on your channel, I didn't ask you. When I punched play, I didn't ask you. I played your video. I mean, you know what I mean? I didn't ask you if I could punch play and subscribe to the channel. But anyway, according to this guy, I can't think of his name right now. I should have written it down. But you could TEDx and then genius. Anyone can be a genius at any time. I'll tell you some of the stuff he talked about. With the right teachers, influencers, family members. He said at any time. He showed proof. And with the proper practice, which you were talking about, and time. He said it has to be a healthy environment. I've heard you say it's hard to expand your consciousness when you're shooting all around you and you got to worry about this hunger pains, basic sustenance. This is all designed. If we know it, then the big Baphomet knows it too.
Yeah.
But healthy environment that fosters creativity. Okay. So what he was saying is that, and he showed evidence. He showed like a rudimentary picture. And then they were like, he asked, would y'all say this is genius? And they were like, no. And then he showed another picture. It was a beautiful work of art. And it was like, would y'all say that was genius? And everybody raised their hand like, yeah. And they were like, it was the same person. And it was like, and this person did this after like 5 years or whatever, after 5 years of learning.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I remember
exact
that
same
video.
person.
Yeah.
And, you saw it. And then they showed about older people doing it too. Like you can literally be 70 years old, 60 years old and start playing the piano and you're connecting stuff in your brain and you can become a genius. People have to show you the right way to do it.
Right. You got to learn the correct way and be able to have the fortitude to stick to it. Like you got to change anything in your life after you're 7 years old is you have to work at it, period. After you're out of theta, you have to work at if you want to change that programming you got. But if you really want to become genius at something, then you got to shut a lot of that programming down and off. You got to decide what's important to you and go from there.
Yeah. He had many other examples. It was a short video. It would have been dope. TEDx don't trip, but you know, TATN, we're moving in a different direction. So, man, great point. So let me just check and see if we got some hubbub on that, because you know I don't want to move too far.
Looking in the chat, Minister Wakil L said, absolutely on the ancestors. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And then we was asking about what the sun gets. I'm the overseer, says the sun gets love when the flower blooms.
Man, wow. I guess like a parent gets love when a child blooms. Wow. And he said geniuses are born, they develop their ability. It takes time. So I think he's saying both within one person.
Right.
But okay, but what about, yes, I don't think he's in agreement. He's saying they're born. Yeah.
Right. He's saying they're born automatically.
Yeah. Yeah. Ace said both. I think he agreed with us.
Right.
He said that gift definitely has to be nurtured in this day and age. Correct. And I want to go into that. There's some genius in the nurturers too. The ones who recognize it and put that time. There's genius for the LeVar Ball to put that time in and make sure you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Is there genius in that?
Serena and father.
But some geniuses say they had nothing to do with it. The parents be like, that kid just started playing the piano. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. So they got them, you know, piano lessons, or they were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So those are born like.
Yeah. And the parents weren't pressing them to practice their lessons. They just wake up every day and
they just do it. You know, I think those are like
born to do it.
I'm just going to say reincarnations out the
That's what I was saying with the ancestors. That's what I was trying to say, bro.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of elders be like, man, that person, that's my grandmother. Or that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
And when children are first come here, them first few years, man, they do some things you be like, what was that? Like I was working as an IT person and my son hit some keys on my computer and I saw screens I never seen in my life. I'm like,
he said they're looking at you, smiling.
Yeah. And I'm looking like, how am I gonna fix my computer? I wasn't even mad at him either. I was like, because I sat him up there, you know.
What's up? You can remember doing mathematics yourself and teachers being surprised, like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Show your work. And you can't really show it. They want you to be able to show it because they want to steal your, but it's not even stealing. They want you to be able to do it a certain way, but then when you're able to arrive at the right answer and you're not doing it their way, they're mad at you.
Yeah.
Or they say you cheated.
That's what they say.
When they should be inspiring the student. You know what I mean? Because I had a way that I was doing math, bro. I kind of broke it down to you a little bit, and I come up with it's segmented. You know, I wouldn't call it genius, but it used to freak my math teachers out coming up.
Yeah,
like how'd you come up with that? They always ask me, how'd you get that? What'd you do? Yeah. And I couldn't explain it all the time though. And see, and I think that's what kind of separates a genius too, because some of them can put it in words. I couldn't explain it. Sometimes you just knew the answer.
That's what happened most times for me. I could just look at the question and know the answer. And they were like, I was like, I just know it. I don't, what do you mean? I'm supposed to write this plus this equals this. And this is why do I got to write all that?
Why would I do it that way when I can just lay it up?
I did it in my head. I can't even explain to you what I did, but it all happened in my head. So,
and there's the answer. You know what I mean? Leave me alone. Right. But then you had to do it that way. It showed that work. Yep. So yeah, Minister said absolutely. Yep. Okay. And then Minister said, I agree about the sun and the flowers. Yeah, bro, that was a dope assessment.
Yeah, that was. Never heard that. That was awesome.
Well, and that's why I think, that's why I say that the creator, says, the only joy self, like you're a parent, right? You can't get no greater joy than your children loving each other and growing like that flower, right? Growing and loving each other. What could bring you more joy? You almost got a smile on your face thinking about that now. I can see your spirit lighting up. And that's how God is. That's how the Son is. And that's how God looks at all of us as his sons and daughters. But there's a Baphomet out here. And I always say small ups, because the Baphomet,
they play their part.
yeah, they knock you back on your path. The Baphomet gets you back on your path, bro. If you spiritual, if you blessed, and you and your ancestors, right? They can't kill. I don't say can't kill you, but you know what I'm trying to get at. I think you know what I'm trying to get at.
For sure.
Yeah, it's only so much they can do. It's almost like that story of Job. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, to be like you. If I said so, I'm gonna work the hell out of your son today on the court. You know, I'm gonna be a little physical. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, just don't kill him and just don't break his arm. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm gonna rough him up a little bit, and I'm gonna go hard. And I think that's that tough love that we get from our Creator and our ancestors when necessary, because our life is such a gift, and we are here for a reason. All of us. As corny as that sounds.
No, it's absolute fact.
Now, you were getting into brain science. You were like, you'd like to do some studies on that. And again, please do. I did a little bit here, and I'll let you know. But here's my question. Does physical brain size matter?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if it's all bigger or if certain portions are bigger, which, you know, leads to better.
Al Campanis over here.
Better, better connectivity.
You the black Al Campanis got more convolutions in his brain. Smile.
No.
No, that's kind of what the science is saying, bro. Go ahead, bro. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
I have been seeing some science on the brain, and like I think you sent me the video where some people have they can recall every day.
Man, yeah, one of them, the lady from Taxi.
Yeah, the lady from Taxi. Yeah, but from that they studied that one portion of their brain is much bigger. You know,
that part for that type of memory is huge.
Yeah, 7 times bigger than.
Yes, 11 times, and hers was 11 times.
Wow.
Well, and that gave me the thought that, again, you've been saying we've got everything in a cipher.
Yeah.
See, man goes down an abyss to return to oneself, right?
Yes.
And that's why the Aborigines, they've been through that circle, you know, and they just sit there like, no, man, we're just gonna sit here and live off the land, and that's it. I don't have to build a computer and do all that. There's a kid, we have somebody in the tribe every year, you know what I mean? And they just sit there and compute stuff for us. You know what I mean? They sit there. We don't call them crazy. We bring them food. We don't make them go hunting, right? So we don't give them pills to make them stop and say that they're, you know what I mean, got ADD and this and that. They're the computers, and they compute.
And they can know what's going on the other side of the earth, because they got a similar being there.
Correct. And they were no more special than that kid who can run fast and bring that food back, who was no more special than the computer, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that made you special was your years on the wait. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm saying the abyss that we get into trying to fix everything when everything's right there. I'm not saying we shouldn't. Yeah, necessarily. That's a judgment. But it's just what man does. It's just something about this physical existence.
We are more separate than together, because the longer sustained, and they shit ain't even been sustained. Aborigines, they ain't even been sustained. They, you know, they've got decimated and tried to stop them from passing down.
Correct.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, the oldest beings besides whales on this planet, the oldest beings are the trees.
Yes.
And the trees have figured it out. The trees don't run around trying to make stuff go from here to there and chase food. The tree said, if I sit right here, we're on this thing, this world is spinning around and going around the sun. everything's going to eventually come right here. Everything I need is going to come right to me.
If I just grow taller so I can get to it.
Reach out towards the
Around
sun.
all these other ones, that's.
Yeah. Until some jackass, comes around with a saw and chops me down to make himself warm, when they were teepees and places we had created where you didn't need to generate heat.
Not like that.
You didn't. And if it was too cold, you did what? You lived around the equator where all the other primates live, so that you don't have to chop everything down and do what? Generate heat. See, if you, all right, I digress. Let's get back on topic. So the brain science. So Einstein, you might be surprised, his brain was lighter than the average human brain. It weighed less, they were saying, than average, but it had more extensive or dense, what you were getting at, connections. But it wasn't so much as those people who just had those abilities to remember better than everybody. And it's just like, oh, that's a novel thing. You know what I mean? It was the genius of that part of that brain that can remember everything, give all that data and everything they heard from a science teacher and a math teacher, you were saying, he had more connections with the other side of the brain that gave him abstract thought. And then, so all, according to them, is what they're saying, the genius is connecting all of your parts to your brain better self than the average brain.
Facts,
so
gotta be, because
it's communicating. Your brain is communicating better with each other.
Most people, both sides of the brain are not in complete communication.
Correct.
They're separate. They have different functions and all that. But
correct.
People that do have that connection between the both is like they're abstract. They can think of stuff that most people can't imagine.
But the part of the brain, the guy stole his brain, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. In the interest of science. We'll talk about that. Stole his brain. That's just pretty fucked up. And it's still in the museum and everything. Like it's just but how do we know that was Einstein?
We don't.
But we have to take it for what it is.
Yeah.
They said he had an enlarged area dedicated to mathematical and spatial thought. And my question is, could it be, though, that it was enlarged? It's a little bit of both. I think it's already larger than average.
Yeah.
And he made it larger through using it and using it and using it.
Yeah.
Yes? So there's been theories that Michael Jordan had longer muscles that led to him to have the ability to jump if he just so happened to work those muscles out, right?
I mean, he had some incredible things happen. I mean,
huge hand.
Yeah, but his father is, 5'10", 5'11" or something. He's 6'4", 6'6". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had the spurt.
Yeah, much taller than anybody in his family. That was like a trip in of itself. He was born for that.
And he was a dog. Now, but enlarged area dedicated to mathematical and spatial thought. Now again, do you think that the area is enlarged just because he was using it so much?
I think it's both, just like you stated. I think it's absolutely both. I think he was born with it in
greater
such
capacity
a fashion.
already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he used
look at
it.
Look at Charles Darwin over here. How can I this? I mean, this is a dangerous area we tread on.
No, I mean, we gotta look at a lot of stuff for what it is.
The scientific data.
I mean?
Yes.
and we got a lot of brain science and stuff that Al Campanis didn't have, and his was just based on the amount of melanin you had in your skin. And this is not all the way based on that, or at least not my thinking.
Right. I just have to say it, bro. You know what I mean? Hey, big ups to Prince Jamar. Okay. All right. Interesting. Interesting. Now, of course, like you said, there's been other brain studies, but I just wanted to take Einstein's brain because that's pretty consistent. But the main thing is that his brain wasn't necessarily like heavier. It kind of surprised me. It wasn't really bigger. I know he did a lot of thought experiments, which was just meditations, and we're going to do a show on that self-meditation, but I think I sent you some videos on that where they did the science on the improvement, bro, that you get from meditating. Like,
yeah,
yes, science.
It's funny. It's funny that Tesla said Einstein was an idiot. He just didn't agree with it, his frame of thinking. He couldn't see past his own. So
well, listen,
that's what that was about to me.
I mean, to Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant was probably an idiot, rest his soul, when it comes to basketball. There's levels to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of smug involved when you're a genius. You always think you're the smartest guy in the room.
That's what I was
Because
just thinking.
I've said that Einstein, like you were saying, you know, he was a C student, what have you, in this, but probably because they weren't, you know, motivating him, is on the one hand. On the other hand, he did work in that patent office, and he could have been in there stealing. There's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is that. Tesla did call him an idiot. So there's that. Now, I don't think I know enough about that kind of science.
Dude,
you know what I'm
that's the
trying
whole
to say?
point. But that's just funny
But
that
Tesla
a genius
might.
calls a genius an
Yeah.
idiot.
Yeah. Tesla might.
Both of them recognized as genius.
I'm just saying, so. You know what I mean?
It's funny.
You got me in working at the big studio, and I'm reading all the scripts. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, boom. You know what I mean? Yeah, here we go. I mean, but I'm saying it would take a genius though, because he was approving patents, and all of that was probably just building his brain up too, though, better than the average person. Looking at all that science, you know, on the flip side of that, perfect place for him to have to process all of that information, all those different ways of thought. But that's funny. I never heard that Tesla called him an idiot.
Crack me up.
Wow. Never heard anyone ever refer to Einstein as an idiot.
Man, that cracked me up. I'll send it. I'll find it again and send it to you.
Now, you kind of alluded. We're going to go into the my personal accidental genius theory. However, bro, you were alluding. I'm sure you're familiar with the savant geniuses.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones who get it as a result of some sort of head injury or something of this nature, or sickness, illness.
or just born that way, and they just different, and but a lot.
True.
You talking about the exact ones that's
but
been
good
from
point
injury.
though. Yes, there are some just born that way. That's right with that savant. But there's some where they're not born that way.
Right.
Something happens. They either lose oxygen, have a head injury, and then they go to the piano and
then they just I'm playing everything.
Yeah.
And don't
some
even
of them speaking other languages.
Yeah.
Never been taught.
Right.
Amazing human brain.
Yeah.
Right? That somehow through your life you've been listening to, say, Mandarin, just in the background. You're at the Chinese restaurant trying to get chicken fried rice, right? No MSG. We be talking stupid shit. Yeah, no MSG, my ass. They probably giving us extra. We don't even know what MSG is. I want somebody to type in there what MSG is, but we talk about it. But anyway, I digress. That something can happen to your head, so, and you can now know Mandarin.
Yeah, it tunes into another frequency.
That's wow. That's mind blowing.
That it can tune into another frequency.
I mean, you've had the head injury. We're going to talk about that. If you've experienced any pluses. But now we're going to talk about. So we talked about the savant, but I want to go into the accidental genius theory. Okay.
Right.
And this is my personal accidental genius theory, but I want to make sure I covered all the savants. Genius. Okay. Yes. So you know about these accidental geniuses. Okay, so here's my theory, because you mentioned that some are born as well.
Yeah.
The savants.
Yeah.
So, head injuries, this is the theory. Head injuries have created savants. We've proven it. Savants are born. We know that. Could maybe the brain was damaged during fetal development in some way, shape, or fashion, right?
Or
Or
during
at
the
some
birth experience. During
correct,
birth. Yeah. It could be
or
some
at some
trauma.
point, or at some point during life
Yeah.
that the parents didn't see, or just shake that off over there. You know what I mean? You know, is he all right? You know, took him to the hospital and they monitored him. You know what I mean? And you know that could have been something. I'm not saying kids or parents bang your kids in the head and go bang yourself. This is not what we're saying by any stretch of the imagination. We
No
don't
way,
promote
shape, or
violence
form.
out here. Now, maybe the brain could have been damaged, like we said, okay, and it went undetected or unreported. Now, you mentioned something about yourself. I know you've had the head injury and other things you were doing before, you know, school, before the head injury, you know, things you did as a kid, you know. And I remember instances in my life, my family saying I was doing stuff as a kid, young kid. Now, how many unknown geniuses, man, right, that
Well,
are flipping burgers at McDonald's?
I don't know how many are flipping burgers in McDonald's, but I know they're a lot saying they ain't doing nothing with their lives, and you know they get a lot of negative feedback from people because they, you know, not no normal person. They can't really function in a flipping burgers. You know what I
Man.
mean? They won't
Or in the
last
corporate,
there.
or in the corporate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Under that servitude.
Slavery.
Yeah.
Speak it out. Spit it out.
Lot that are thus involved in nefarious acts.
True.
That don't, you know, follow the law per se or whatever. So there are a lot of geniuses out here that are not recognized as. And there's some that are doing that stuff and staying completely undetected. They're doing it by themselves.
Do you, as a result of your head injury, have you noticed, because I know you talk about faux pas and all of the negative stuff, do you feel like, did you get any bonus from it?
I'm starting to realize now I'm more empathic.
Well, I know you said you crossed over out there. We're not talking about Tim Hardaway. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that somebody could have handed you a gift over there, one of the ancestors.
Yeah. But I had been kind of fighting it for a little while. Like, I'm noticing now that I'm more empathic than I was.
I see what you're saying. You've been fighting it, ignoring it. Yeah, because a lot of funny stuff's happened around you. We heard that scream, and then some stuff you don't see. And I'll be like, hey, did you see that? You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that I could say is a plus. You know, I've started to look more into empaths and seeing what they say and start lining it up with how I feel about a lot of stuff. And it's lining up much more. So I'm trusting that more these days. Pretty recent. Pretty recent. Yeah. I'm lost for words, and that's crazy.
I'll tell you what, bro. Empathy is the root of empathic.
Yeah.
And appreciate you sharing that. I'm your overseer said you don't have to like a genius. I would concur with that.
I wonder if he's watching on replay or behind.
Yeah, he might be a little bit behind. Yeah, I believe he is. Yeah. Probably jumped in a little behind. I usually, when I'm behind, I put it on high speed and then it catches up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I put it on like high speed or double speed until it catches up. A little tricky. I just learned how to get yourself caught up in a live stream. Interesting, bro. Interesting. So, yeah, bro, that's what I was saying about the genius theory. Maybe all these geniuses, Beethoven. I don't know. It's always something. It's like a lemonade. Like, I don't want to call Einstein abnormal, but he was the same type of dude too. Rich. He couldn't keep a family. Man, I watched that thing they did on him on I think it was a Learning Channel. Man, he had the babies and baby, double family, and man, hey, Einstein was a musician. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Of course not. But we know Michael Jordan didn't wipe his ass. We know that. And that's my point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, I'm not judging the man, but it's difficult to maintain relationships when he was having issues with that. But he was a playboy, according to the Learning Channel. They did it on the History Channel. One of them, you got to see it, Self. It was entertaining. It was like a week. I forgot the name of it. It was somebody know it. Type in the chat. It was like a week thing. It was like an hour each. You'll see it. I'm sure it's on YouTube now. Bro, it was a great look. It was entertaining.
The whole week was on him.
Yeah. Or maybe it was a series, a mini series. So it had to be like 5 2-hour episodes, bro. It was dope. And they did a recreation of his whole life, bro. And it showed like how he was doing the thought experiments and all of that, bro. It was dope, man. It was dope. And I didn't know all that either. I didn't know all that either about his womanizing or what have you. Some of his kids, he didn't talk to. It was like tripped out, man.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about him.
Yeah. So I just think that the thought that maybe all geniuses are a result of some sort of trauma.
It's possible,
bro. You know how many crack babies are phenomenal,
man. Yeah, trauma could lead to a lot of things. Could lead to being, a loner type. Could lead to talking abstract. Not quite being able to explain everybody, and they looking at you like, what is, huh? Spit it out, man. Get it out of your head.
And then pretty soon you get labeled.
Yeah.
You get labeled. And if you ain't over there doing science, which you're a genius, or doing a nice moonwalk, or something somebody can capitalize on, you're crazy out there.
This slow guy over there is crazy out there. He's slow.
Weirdo over there talking about E.
Don't worry about him. He's slow.
Talking about E equals MC squared. Speaking of that, you remember the big mathematician from India?
Right.
I think he came from a royal family, a common family, and wrote a letter to some scientists at Harvard and did all this math. I forgot if something happened to him. I don't know if he had a head injury. I don't think he had a head injury, but he just could see all this math. Brilliant, bro.
Right. I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think it.
Came from I'm
thinking of his name.
Yeah, it really makes you.
He had it from a young age too.
Yes, and he sent this theory he did to like 5 top mathematicians, and none of them read it, so except for one, and was like blown away. The one at Harvard took the time to read it.
Ramanujan.
Yes. So, Self, think about how many people, geniuses, are probably giving you a CD, to play, and you know what I mean, and you probably didn't play it. Yeah. I'm just using you as an example. I know we tend to do that, but yeah, man. So we did that. Y'all make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So I think before we get into Self Love's Tory Wordsmith's final words as we wrap up, I think we've concluded that geniuses are A, born, and B, developed. And even when they are born, it helps to have extra development. I find that geniuses tend to, from my research, come from two-parent households. Um, Oftentimes, their parents were professionals or did a lot of reading or something of this nature. Oftentimes, natural teachers were stretching the kid's imagination and brain, the child's imagination and brain early on, early on, and connecting, these synapses in the brain and making the brain a more viable tool. Also, something we didn't mention, the private schools. The pink people at most private schools now, they're doing meditations and things that we call stupid and white people stuff, and they're doing yoga, and and they're not running out and shooting at each other, and killing each other. So just want to throw that out there as we wrap this up. Don't get caught up in the eugenics when it comes to a genius. Let your light shine inside of you. Determine what it is that, if your genius doesn't naturally come out of you right away, you can still be a genius in anything. But you're going to have to get around the right teachers, learn the right way, and put the work in out there. Because the original translation, Hebrew, it's my understanding, the word worship in Hebrew, or maybe it was Aramaic, I think it was Hebrew. It simply means work. Worship means work. And so with that being said, I'm going to shut my trap and throw it over to Self Love.
The wordsmith's final words. We've unpacked what a genius is, what a genius does. Most could not comprehend. They put things together that no one else could put together and win. They see concepts and have vision, precise, like a laser type precision, and stay focused and build until it happens. Manifest things a lot of times that's never before been in this realm. They have a higher understanding and a higher connectedness with the Creator, and a higher purpose in a lot of ways to live in service. Even the ones that's dicks still put together something that make you wish you could build like that, had skill like that, even the will like that. So big ups to the geniuses. Keep at it. This matrix needs you.
Well said, good brother. Well said. Oh, big ups.
Big ups.
Yes, Ouija, Howard. Children, don't be lazy out there. Dream big. Murder, suicide.
Stand your ground.
Silence is violence.
See something, say something.
Murder, suicide.
An eye for an eye.
Greed plus ego over fear is slavery.
Charity plus humility times love is freedom.
Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
Open your mouth and speak. Stop mumbling. Fear is cap.
Vibrate love.
Forgiveness plus charity. Well, those are the highest vibrations of love.
So, do something charitable for your enemy. End the beef.
Facts. Life is too precious. They say that hurt people hurt people.
Healthy people heal people.
Free Larry Hoover.
Free Jeff Ford.
Free the guys, man.
Yeah, man. Prison is slavery.
Make sure you look at the 13th Amendment and walk on H2O like St. Peter. Luke.
Move mountains.
Mountains.
Yes,
Wait,
sir.
whoa. Did you say move mountains?
Absolutely.
Impossible.
No, bro. Just need the faith of a mustard seed. And we got way more than that.